everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Here's the Deal. This is the third episode, but this was going to be a little shorter, a little different. We have the entire month of May is PPF month. 10% off everything to do with PPF. That is PPF rolls. That's PPF classes through the entire year. That is PPF merchandise. We have a new banner that just dropped. Kate and I just shot pictures and videos for all that stuff. So May is the month of PPF. So my guest for this little short episode can be no other than Mr. Cole Perkins. Here's the deal.
How's it going? Good to be here, Chase.
I appreciate you coming on, Cole. So this week, we're very cramped. We have the next 4 weeks with PPF class, auto tint class, then film fest, and then another auto tint class. So it's pretty hectic this week.
Yeah, and we're already feeling it. We're already a little whooped from this week, and it's only Wednesday. But we got this beautiful Ferrari 458 behind us that we just finished up. A full front cap and the roof on. I think it came out pretty good. What do you think?
I think it came out amazing. So the reason that I love this car being here is big, huge shout out to Mr. Matt Poirier for getting us this car, first of all.
Yeah.
And this just opens the doors to that advancement of a class that we're looking for in the academy. Everybody's always asking online, where's you guys' advanced classes? Where's the advanced class and everything? So this right here kind of just opens that door, and it's awesome.
Yeah, that's something exciting to think about because the advanced class is really where all the fun is. We have a lot of fun in our beginners courses, seeing everybody learn from scratch. But if you want to do the cool stuff, that's where the advanced class is going to come in. Disassembling supercars, making your installs look invisible, putting badges back on straight, and it's that extra 10% that makes an install 90% better than any other install. So.
Exactly. And how long have you been installing yourself?
So I've been installing a little under 5 years, very aggressively, I'd say. So at least for one straight year, I might have done more cars in a year than some people will do in a career, just because, you own a tint shop or a ceramic coating shop, whatever it is, and you might do PPF 1 week, 2 jobs a week. It might be a few weeks where you don't do any, but I've been in the shops where it's literally walk in, your car's prepped, there's somebody manning the plotter, so it's like 9 to 6 every day, taking film off the board and putting it on the car. Just straight that, pushing the pace and getting to learn from, the best of the best guys at the best of the best shops in big cities where there's cars like this, where 458 would kind of be like, oh, well, this is kind of entry level. Like you might stick the beginner guys in your shop on this because you're working on a Revuelto or a Senna or whatever crazy cup car is in, stuff like that.
I never thought I would hear somebody say that they wouldn't compare a 458 Italia to like a Toyota Camry.
Yeah, well, it's crazy because it's levels to the game. I'm just sensitized at this point, but working on cars that are worth 7 figures kind of changes your perspective a little bit, Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's like a car is a car. If somebody wants to bring me their Lexus, I'm going to make it look just as good as I would any other car. It's about doing the best install you can all the time, not just, because you have an extra nice car in the shop. You take pride in your skills as an installer. So that's another thing I think our advanced course will bring to people is that next level of craftsmanship that they can apply to, maybe they don't have Ferraris in their town, but everybody's going to be riding around with Silverados with the cleanest PPF front cap you've ever seen, because this shop just takes pride in their work. And I think that's some of the best marketing you can do, because when you have all these cars riding around with your shop's name behind it and they look better than everybody else's, well, what more can you say, And
then they'll be coming to your shop, knocking your door down.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I think that, there's obviously a stopping point where you can't treat every car like it's a work of art. The PPF is there to protect what's underneath. It's a sacrificial barrier. And a lot of people can get lost in sacrificing really the longevity of the install just to make it 10% prettier. So there's a balance, obviously, of I want this to look really good and make it look invisible, but you have to know how far is too far when it comes to, is this PPF job going to last a month down the road. Because I'm telling this customer the film's warranted for 10 years, and I'm going to do something crazy for an Instagram video, you know, way overstretching this mirror or shoving film down into a gap where it doesn't need to be, and body panels are going to rub together and lift the film. And, you know, that 10-year warranty turned into them coming back a month later and you having to redo stuff. So
yeah,
it's learning the balance, obviously.
Exactly. And I mean, with a car like this, you know, some people would want to get this in their shop just for that hype, just for that Instagram reel.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't blame them, right? I mean, you want to have nice cars on your website, on your social media, because that gives you a level of credibility. Because it can be hard to be seen and stand out amongst other shops, and it's almost kind of hard to showcase PPF installs on Instagram or on Facebook, because a video or a picture never does it justice. Like you can't really see what you see in person and just how hidden all of the edges are and just how clean the install is, especially when most people are, you know, it's kind of the same way with everything. Their tint jobs, their PPF jobs, their paint corrections, you know, they take pictures of it without direct light on it, or you know, it looks really good in the picture, but then that car from that shop, you know their name, shows up at a car meet, and you're looking over it going, man, this is where everybody's bringing their car? And trust me, I can name countless shops that are that way, you know, and I don't want to be that guy to call anybody out, but you know in the back of your mind, you're like, yeah, like, that's just kind of how it is.
Yeah, exactly. And then you actually, you know, while we're shooting this, you're leaving in probably 30 minutes, and you're going to
Austin to do some more installation, because that's the problem they have over there, these bigger cities, is like there's no shortage of cars to do. You know, you'll see Ferraris and Lamborghinis left and right. You know, the Cybertruck is like the Civic of Dallas, you know, that type of thing. It's just all the cars you would PPF, the Porsche 911s, it's just crawling with them. And it's crazy to see what comes out of the cracks. These guys with 7-figure cars just rolling around. But that's the thing, is when you have those level of cars and a shop that trusts people with those cars, it's hard to find installers consistency. You know, like a lot of those shops have high turnover rates because they have a guy come in who thinks they're really good, and then when they, you know, start working on these challenging cars and start getting pressed on like, no, this is the level of install we expect, then they kind of start to cave a little bit. And so it's just rinse and repeat, and other shops trying to, you know, outbid other shops of like, hey, leave that shop and come to ours and we'll pay you more, because there's shops just everywhere sitting around with 10 cars in them that all need full body PPF, and the owner just has to say, hey, like, leave your car, we'll get to it when we can, you know?
Yeah.
So, it's a different ball game in those big cities like that. And that's where you see all the content coming out of all these really big shops. But I mean, a shop can be successful anywhere. And a lot of people kind of underestimate, like, even for our area, people underestimate the money that's around here, that's in Baton Rouge, that's in Denham Springs. But you go drive down some neighborhood streets and see some cars that you're like, okay, wow, I didn't think that was here. It's here, you know. It's just not necessarily flaunted as much.
So how do you, if you're a brand new person, like say you're someone who you just graduated from the academy per se, and you're not in auto tint, you're not in ceramic coating or anything, like this is your start, is PPF. What would be one thing that you would say to that person to get into the market? Not necessarily straight up Ferraris, but to just get in the PPF market itself. Yeah,
I mean, you've got to put in the reps. You've got to start the way everybody else starts, right? Like, start on your car, start on your family's car and your friend's car, to where you have vehicles that you can put the reps in on, but you know the person. So if there's issues and it has to come back a few times, it's not a big deal. And that person's not out there, you know, dogging on your reputation. Because when you take on real clients, they're expecting you to give them good results, and they're expecting you to be a business who does good work and has good customer service and all those things. So you want to make sure that your level of install is there before you're taking on real clients. But at the same time, I think the other end of the spectrum is people get kind of afraid, and they think I'm never good enough, and they never make that push to just start taking clients on, you know. And the thing is, you may have in your mind what a perfect install is and needs to be, but the majority of people if you're an installer, they don't see what you see, right? Like my 90% is like a customer's 10%. I'm looking at stuff most of the time at a really like microscopic level, fretting about all these little defects and just spending hours working them all out, so that when the car comes out, you know, the customer takes a glance at it and says, wow, that looks amazing. Because if it looks good to me, it looks great to the customer. So I think it's about getting to the point where you're happy with your installs. And if you, as an installer who's passionate about laying film, you're happy with your installs, then I think most of the time your customers are going to be happy.
Very true. Very true. And, you know, speaking of the marketing aspect of it all, I know you dabble a lot in SEO and Google ads and everything like that. If I was someone and I say had a marketing budget for myself and I saved up $1,000, what would you do to further? I'm a year into business, but now I want to boost myself. I have $1,000.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing about $1,000 is it's not going to get you very far with Facebook or Meta ads or pay-per-click, because it takes a lot of money to burn through just to have Facebook learn your ads, find your audience. You got to do A/B testing. If this ad works, this one doesn't, let's scale this one back and push this one hard. So that's something that I absolutely recommend every shop does. But the foundation for your online presence is going to be your website on Google. Does it come up? You know, and that's something that doesn't take a lot of money. If you learn how to do SEO, you could basically free backlinks, write really high quality blogs and articles on your site, reach out to people you know, hey, would you let me do a guest post on your site and just link back to my site, etc. You can start to build out landing pages for your town, PPF in XYZ town, and all the surrounding towns around you, and then you've got this, eventually this big net, you know, through which you can catch customers. Because that's the thing about it is, if somebody wants to do something like this, they don't do it on a whim.
Yeah.
So if you come across somebody's Facebook page, maybe they'd be interested in PPF, or maybe you can educate them on it and talk them into it. But somebody who's looking up PPF near me, they're ready to buy. And so that is a hot lead. And if you can tap into those hot leads by ranking on the first page of Google, I mean, it's really hard to beat that. And the thing about it is, you own that online presence. It's not like, you know, pay-per-click, where the second you run out of ad spend, Google says, well, we're taking your ad off, right? Yeah. And all that money might have been for nothing. You own your online presence. You're not renting it from Google. And just like you build your business, you should think of your website and the SEO of your website as, okay, this is a part of my business. I'm building it over time. And it doesn't happen fast, but you continue to write quality content, take that time, optimize your page, etc. There's so many resources now with AI. You could get a tool that literally tells you, hey, these are the things that are wrong with your site. Fix this, this, and this. You know, this is the type of content you need to write. Write this, do this. Talk to Claude, talk to ChatGPT, and you can pretty easily figure it out, because most people, unless you're in a really competitive market, aren't doing things to that level. So that's personally where I would start, is make sure you have a clean, polished website that a customer can come to and say, hey, this looks pretty good. That, you know, nice pictures, like this is already a trust signal for me.
Yeah.
And then if you're actually coming up at the top of Google, that's all they need to know, because statistics show that even if somebody's outspending you and they're running Google ads that put them at the top, most people, like 60%, skip the sponsored ad and go to the first organic result. And so you can get there for free, essentially, or on a very small budget.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other thing, dude, I don't know how you feel about it, but speaking of AI and everything, there's good AI, and then there's just the AI slop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, why?
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything, right? It's a tool. It's kind of like your red dot blade, right? You could use it to make a little trim here and there and pretty things up, or you could really do some damage with it, you know, make something really ugly. And that's kind of how it is when you see a whole website where all the pictures are AI generated. That's kind of a turnoff right now, because people are already feeling the AI generated fatigue, and they're kind of trending back toward, I want something that's real and organic, especially if you're trying to get somebody, a stranger who came across your site, to trust you. When they see all of your stuff is fake, essentially, and generated, that's kind of a big turnoff in my mind.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, especially when there's so many, you know, softwares like you got Fiverr and all these different programs where you could just pay somebody
$30 and outsource it.
Exactly.
You know? Right.
Exactly. And get something authentic rather than some stupid one sentence prompt where you're going to get some AI generated slop.
Exactly.
It looks like everybody else, you know.
Take pride in your stuff. That's how I was able to take shops I've been with and shops who are clients of mine to be the best in their area in Google, is because me or the business owner knows the industry. You're passionate about the industry, so you don't have to tell ChatGPT to write you an article on window tint. You know more about window tint than ChatGPT does. And so you have a unique perspective that you can write an article on, and guess what? If it's good, people are going to share it, and that's like a free backlink machine, because it happens all the time. People are like, hey, especially Tesla guys. I love to write content on Teslas because the Tesla forums and the Tesla subreddit, they're always sharing links. So like, look at this article I found, or they reply, look, this is an article that answers your question. And if that's your article, Google's giving you credit for being mentioned.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's about backlinks and stuff. That's like people that don't realize, you know, you could take, let's just say, for example, we paid $30 for one image, right? And we were going to run that as an ad and everything. Well, what I would do I would take that image, and not only would I share it across social media, but then I would go in and I would create a blog post on my website, and then I would add my hyperlinks and my backlog links, you know, two different things. It's all
you gotta like squeeze every drop out of your content. If you're taking the time to make something, especially, this is why I love like long form YouTube videos. Yeah. Because you know how to do so many things if you're an installer, if you're a shop owner, right? That you don't realize the majority of people just don't know. And so the DIY guy who's looking up, how do I do this or that on my car? I recently wrote an article for a shop, how to remove stains, water stains from a car headliner. Because we just had a Tesla that had come in, and the installers got just a little bit of water on the headliner from tinting it. And it's not like stained, but you know, it leaves that little kind of water ring. Yeah. So I just took a quick video of like how I remove it. I wrap a towel around a steamer and just steam it out, and it evaporates. Posted that on YouTube, and then I made an article on step-by-step how to remove water stains from a car headliner. But the first thing in the article was that embedded YouTube video of how to. That is now their highest clicked, highest impression page. Last time I looked, I think it was getting like 12,000 impressions a month. Wow. Just because people are looking up, how do I remove stains from my car? And AI Overview on Google is referencing it. So you go look up like, okay, how do I do this? Hey, this company says do this, this, and this. Here's a video you can watch on it. And now that's getting shared all around and getting backlinks to that company's website to help them rank their landing pages higher.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, that's something that we have to do here too. You know, you can't just, especially when people think the thumbnail is everything, which sometimes it is, but to me, it's the title. It's the title and the description, because say you make a long video and you're promoting a tool, but you're showing off how to use it. I'm not going to title it like, you know, scrubber or whatever. I'm going to title it the best way to prep a front window for window tint.
Because that's a high intent key phrase. Because somebody is searching, how do I do this? Then that's the thing with content, even with your social media content. If you want to get a lot of impressions, a lot of engagement, answer people's questions. Because that's the thing. It's like people are like, what do I post? And it's fine to do all the trends where you copy other people's trends and make funny content. But there's a place for that. But as somebody who's an expert in an industry, you should be making educational content. That is the most low-hanging fruit you have, is to say, here's something I know that I want to teach you, and it answers your problems, it answers your questions. Yes. And just multiply that times 1,000. And you're sure to get traction if you can do that well and do that consistently.
Dang. My boy's spitting.
That's a clip right there.
That's a clip right there. So with May being the PPF month and everything, at the end of this month, you're actually coming with us. You're going to compete.
Film Fest.
Yeah, you're going to compete at Film Fest.
I'm very excited. I'm going in with 100% confidence. Like we're going to win, you know, and we're going to have fun and get to meet everybody there. But it's not often that you get to kind of showcase your skills and have fun competing with speed and efficiency and how clean your installs are. So I'm bringing my A game. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, whoever watches this, because I know we have a lot of listeners, but whoever watches this man just knocked out this Ferrari. So I'd be scared if I was a competitor watching this.
We're going to see how it goes. Either way, it's going to be a blast. We're going to have a lot of fun. So I'm very excited. Are we getting signaled from people in the back?
I think we're getting signal. Oh yeah. So
can't forget about our boy.
Yeah, Zach. He went home with a lot of trophies.
Yes. I think he might have been our first double gold, and he also got a runner-up.
Yeah.
So that was big, and obviously that's usually how it goes. When you have PPF classes, you're going to have one or two guys who come from a vinyl background. A lot of that is going to transfer over into their blade skills. Once they learn the subtle differences in the PPF and the vinyl, it's kind of like they pick it up quick. But yeah, that being said, Zach's going to come with us to Film Fest and compete. So not only are we going to have the PPF instructor there, but we're going to have a student who only recently completed the PPF class already competing, against other long-term installers.
Exactly. And not just Zach. I wasn't going to mention any competitors yet because, it's only a couple weeks away, but I just wanted to make sure everything was set in stone.
Right.
Since we got word from the man himself behind the camera, we have Daniel, Chaz, Chad, Jay, and I think that's it.
So we're gonna have some good representation for. So are we competing in all three categories then?
Yeah, we're gonna do auto tint teams, auto tint singles, and PPF and flat glass. We have Greg Stone. Yeah, Greg Stone over there in Utah. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So it should be fun. I mean, the whole premise is that, we want Geoshield to feel like the best community ever. And
absolutely.
With adding the students as our list of competitors, we could have went out and got anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Any dealer or whatever. But we want to show that throughout all of the processes, we back you up 100%. And bringing students out there to compete, I mean, some of them are nervous, but that's awesome.
And that's the great thing about how Geoshield does these training classes. It's like for most training classes you go to, Friday when you leave, that's the end of it. But really for the dealer at Geoshield, that's the beginning, right? That's like where the relationship starts, and you're plugged into a community. You have that awesome customer service of help whenever you need it. You get reached out to go to events. So, I mean, I think that's what makes Geoshield really unique in the industry, is that dealer to company relationship.
Exactly. It's like you join Geoshield, you better strap in, buckle up, and get ready for the ride of your life. I mean, like Mr. Chad, I'll shout out Chad. Big on TikTok, 63,000 followers on TikTok, goes live and everything. Him and his daughter came down for the PPF class, and, he changed his entire business up, and he texted me and Shep last night. We sent the guy out this giant banner, said window tint here and everything. And it's just cool to be able to do that for our dealers.
Absolutely.
And online, a lot of people say, we don't get those freebies or anything, but these are people that hit us up. So it's kind of like a you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back type of thing. And it's not that we shun people off. It's just that
you do not have because you do not ask.
Yeah, the loudest voices get fed first. You know what I'm saying? Just reach out to us. We're always willing to send some bones. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah,
I've always been like that, me.
You've got to be like that in this industry in general. It's like nothing's just going to fall into your lap by sitting around. Like if you need clients, you don't have them, go out and get them. If you need connections, you don't have them, go out and get them. It's the person with the most drive and the person who's not afraid to just reach out and take a chance. I mean, any interaction you have where you've got to ask somebody for something and you're terrified to do it, the worst they could say is no.
Exactly.
And it's like, okay. And most people respect you for asking. That's the thing about it that people don't realize. And they'll remember you when that opportunity does come up. They might reach back out.
Exactly. 100%. Do not ever forget that. Ever.
Keep asking for stuff.
Keep asking for it.
Yep.
The only thing we can say is no.
There you go.
90% of the time, though, it's a yes.
Yeah.
The 10% is crazy requests.
Yeah, right. Something that we probably couldn't possibly do.
No, not at all.
We'll hit you up if we get there.
Exactly.
It's like that.
Exactly. Well, Cole, I've been looking at the time. I know you have to catch your flight here soon. You got to leave it at around 4. So where can everybody find you at? On social media, wherever?
Man, everybody can find me hopefully tagged on the Geoshield page. Some of these awesome clips we've been getting
100%.
lately. Definitely go check out all the content that we post from the PPF training classes. Go to the Geoshield website and you can see pictures from previous training classes, I think, and more info about that, you can reach out and find me, just Cole Perkins on Facebook if you ever have a question. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Hell yeah. Well, I appreciate you being on, Cole. I know it was super short, but I do want to have you back on.
After Film Fest.
After Film Fest.
A recap.
We will talk more. We'll do a recap. We'll see if you actually got
Came
the gold.
home with the prize money. If we do, we'll have it laid out on this table
we
right
will
here.
lay it out on this table. It's going to be sick, you know. But I appreciate you coming on once again.
Absolutely.
And for those watching and listening, I know this was a super short one, but follow Cole on all social media. And the month of May is PPF, 10% off everything on the website. And we will see you guys on the next one in July or June, whichever one comes first. But that's the deal.